Have you ever seen anybody with really unmanaged emotions, extreme behaviors, and it's kind of a pattern, not a one-off? Did you know what to do in the moment? How many of you have had someone that's really exploded during a conversation and blamed you? Entrepreneurs and really smart business owners and problem solvers, a lot of times we go straight to that problem-solving mode, especially when someone's in your face or they're blaming, or they might be stringing some lies and some truths together. You ever had that experience and you're like, not sure what to do here. What do I believe? What's going on? When you're feeling stuck, when you're in that moment, when you don't know what to do and you're problem solving and it's not working, what I would like to focus on is what I call a world of opposites, because your natural path is to go to the problem solving route and talk with this individual who's displaying his behaviors like you would with 90% of other people. But you can't with this person. So you have to do the opposite of what you might feel like doing and what you're used to doing. So if we're talking about 90% of people probably on the planet, we're walking around like this, and that means we're probably in a not very anxious mode. We can problem solve, we can have conversations, we can have interactions. We're working, we're feeling low anxiety. Research shows us we need these hemispheres to be connected, so you get a lot of flow going back and forth across what I call the bridge, which is just the corpus callosum. And you need, if that flow, when you got a lot of flow, you make better decisions, right? Got the hemispheres connected. Then enters in who you'll know, the amygdala, right? The right amygdala, paying attention to tone of voice, body language, and facial expression. So as you're listening to me, your amygdala is assessing these things and determining whether I'm a threat to you or I'm not. And if it determines I'm a threat to you, it kind of does this thing. And now you've gone from this peaceful place to now a reactive place. And we think with maybe 10% of the population, there's a misassessment of threat that the amygdala is doing. It's assessing my tone of voice as a threat when it's really not. And it has the same result. It separates the hemispheres, the reacting brain from the thinking brain. Basically in conflict, this is what's happening. People are reacting and they're not thinking. When you're stuck in that moment and you don't know what to say and you're talking to those patients, and if you're trying to explain something really technical with them and they're up here in react brain and not in whole brain, how can you get logic through to them? How can you get an explanation through to them? Right now you have to talk to the right brain, to the react brain. So you do that with something that we call ear statements, something with empathy, attention, or respect. For them, it feels like a crisis right now. And so you give an ear statement, which lands on the react brain, brings it down off the ceiling a little bit. They can't do that themselves. This 10% of the population have a hard time. So if you do that for them, then you guide them into think brain, maybe focusing them on something like a choice, making a proposal, analyzing options. That's all stuff in logic brain and think brain. So your goal, just to be very brief about it, is you want this for a real conversation, not this. And to get this off the brain, you're going to use a little ear to get them back here. All right? So that's it. That's it. We have a little book I even brought, Calming Upset People with Ear. Truly, it's not about just the words you say, it's about the connection you make. It's the eye contact is magic. I'm looking at you because you're all in magic. And you're great with eye contact. I had a judge in Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago. I was trained him like a year ago, consulting and coaching. He was having trouble with his spousal relationship, marital relationship. And a lot of fighting, a lot of bickering. So I taught him this one, this and some other skills. So he came back to me 8 months later. I said, what's working? And he said, the eye contact. The brain needs that connection and it will help it do this. Anyway, thank you.